Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. And yes, we did brew our cup of coffee. Fine today. I made sure to go slow and treat her right. Now, if the coffee joke seems like an inside joke to you, that's because you weren't here yesterday, where I put on a pot of coffee, but I forgot to put in the pot. So when I came out of the shower and I looked around, there was a waterfall of coffee pouring off of my countertop onto my floor, into the drawers, everything. It was a disaster. My hands smelt like coffee no matter how much I washed them yesterday. That's not even an exaggeration, but we got our cup of coffee, folks. We're okay. Brad's in a good mood today. He's not pissy. And it tastes damn good. I went hours yesterday without having a cup of coffee. And let me tell you, that doesn't happen here in the Roberts household. Q, thank you so much for the 8 months. Appreciate you. Always here supporting the show and part of the Bald Brad Army. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody over at Kick, over at Rumble, over at YouTube, X. Hell, we are anywhere and everywhere, baby. Well, let's jump right in the news. This one is going back and forth, up and down, left and right. Can't follow it. It's difficult. So we're going to start with the basics here. Many of you heard yesterday, Trump announced complete and total ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Trust in Trump we trust. I just came up with it. I know it just rolls off the tongue. Well, it's not it's a ceasefire, but it's not a ceasefire. We're going to break everything down for you. I even have a timeline because it's tough to wrap your head around. Well, I heard there was a missile fired from this guy, and this guy said, my D is bigger, so I'm going to launch my missile at you. All the while, we're supposed to be under a ceasefire. We got it for you. Don't worry, folks. I'm going to unravel this freaking knot, spiderweb, whatever you want to call it. President Donald Trump announced Monday that there will be a complete and total ceasefire between Israel and Iran implemented in less than 24 hours. He said, congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. Trump congratulated both countries for having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end. If you notice, Trump totally treats this as like a UFC fight. I gotta say something, Joe. Joe Rogan of UFC. I gotta say something, Joe. Let me get in that octagon real quick. I gotta say, you both had some major stamina. Some would say even a lot of courage, but definitely a lot of intelligence to end this thing right. Congratulations, boys. That's basically what happened. I call it the 12-day war. Trump's looking at this historical. God, I love him, dude. He's the best. He is. I'm going to miss him. Luckily, we still get 3.5 years. I know. Can you believe it's only been 5 months, Brad? Like, what? This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. And God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. I love that he tries to inject God into things now. We need that back in America. We need that back in our daily lives. And it's a good reminder anytime you bring up God that, hey, there is somebody greater than all of us that at the end of the day is going to judge us for everything that we've done and everything that we've said. Our hearts will be weighed by the Lord, folks. Now, the ceasefire comes after 12 days of conflict between Israel and Iran. I don't need to go hash that out. Let's get into the updates here with it. Where are they? All right, here we go. Now, wow, this is just an update 2 minutes ago. Well, we'll get into that. I want to go back and forth here. Okay, let's give you the timeline. Then I'm gonna tell you what Trump said. Let's do the timeline here. Okay, so everybody follow along. Yes, Trump announces a ceasefire yesterday. He gave both of them 6 hours to wrap up their operations. All right, we all agreed we're going to stop this nonsense. You got 6 hours to blow your loads before we're pulling out. Israel starts to bomb Iran heavily after Trump's announcement. So Israel's bombing heavily Iran. Then Iran comes back and shoots 5 missile barrages at Israel, deleting 4 people. Last I heard it was 3, so it looks like it went up 1. Then Trump's deadline goes into effect and Iran shoots another barrage. So a lot of people, when I announced this on TikTok yesterday, obviously the typical, where are you getting your information from, man? This is BS. Because it's breaking. The moment Trump says something and I verify it with, let's just say, how I do my things. By the way, I have yet to be freaking wrong. Just want to point that out. Of course, it's going to be tough to find because I'm the one helping break the news. So it's probably the first time somebody's heard it. But we're still right. Anyways, so Trump breaks the news. And people are like, well, they're still launching missiles at each other. They're still like doing stuff, you know? Yes, because there's a time when you make the negotiation and the deal. I know, and watch my hand. Why? Everybody watch close. Everyone watch it closely. Yeah. And then there's a time the deal actually goes into effect. I know. Can you believe it? Look at the gap. That's what she said. Look at the gap. Yep. I know. Unfathomable. Yes. You make the negotiation and the deal and you sign it. And then there's a day in the future or a time in the future, I know, that it goes into effect. I know it seems simple. It seems a little silly, doesn't it? A lot of people don't get that, believe it or not. A lot of people. Yeah. My watch is vibrating. What do we have here? Who's messaging me? Absolutely nobody. Nobody talks to me. Trump deadline goes into effect and shoots Iran. Goes into effect and Iran shoots another missile barrage. Then Trump announces the deadline. His deadline is in effect on truth and asks for no more firing. So he goes, all right, we're done. Hello. Hello, Lorraine. Back to the Future reference. We're done. It started. So after Trump does that, then the nut jobs over there in Iran go, well, I don't think so. So they fire another missile 3 hours later. Now the missile didn't land. They just couldn't help themselves. Sticky fingers. Mohammed, launch another one. Then Israel vows to respond, which now you can see like, well, okay, here we go. Here we go. Then Trump publicly demands that Israel not respond and that its planes turn around. Israel ends up striking a minor site and turns its planes around. This might be over now. That's where we are. That's where we're at. Okay. So Israel declares all objectives complete. Benjamin Netanyahu's office declared that all of Israel's objectives were accomplished in the 13-day war between the Jewish state and Iran. In the statement, Netanyahu's office said that the two leaders spoke on the phone following the end of Israeli strikes. In the conversation between President Trump expressed his great appreciation for Israel, which achieved all of its objectives for the war, as well as his confidence in the stability of the ceasefire. Okay. That's nice. We'll see how long it lasts, but you got to give it to Trump for getting this done. No American lives were lost. We completed our objectives. This is how things are supposed to be done. Now, for the older folks, you are used to this type of thing here and there. This is how operations are supposed to be done. You go in, you take out your objective, mission accomplished, bring the boys home. We're good. We don't need to, oh, here we go. You want now we're going to bring in the troops. No. We don't need to do that. So Trump did this right. And a lot of people weren't with Trump on this one. And guess who was? Now, I'll follow his lead. I didn't want him to do this, but you notice I'm not going, oh, well, how could he? Oh, come on, you piece of crap. This isn't what I voted for. Give me a break. Come on. Grow a pair. He's the president of the United States. Suck it up. How can he do this? The guy's a warmonger. Just asking for World War III. He's going to take out genocide. Like, shut up, you pussy. God, dude. Grow a pair of balls. Guy did some work here. You know what I mean? Dropped a few bombs. Brought the boys home. Fucking everything's fine. Like, shit, man. Like, even like mainstream influencers is like, calm down. You know what I mean? Oh my God, how could he do it? I mean, he said that he wouldn't bring us in the war, and now he's taking B-2 stealth bombers, and he's ruining everything. Calm down. God. Like, just shut the fuck up, get off social media for a bit, and, go rub one out or something. Hell, I don't know. God, chill the fuck out. You know, do you guys get what I'm saying? I don't mean to be a jerk, but it's like, it's everything's fine. Like, I mean, I don't know about you. Yes. I mean, yesterday I had a rough day just because of the coffee maker, but other than that, I was just kind of chilled, you know? It's laid in bed for like all day, like an emo kid. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Now, okay, let's get to this. Where the hell's the clip? All right, hold on a second. Now, Trump cussed. If Trump cusses, we get to cuss too. That's how it works. Oh, look, we have 44 people. That's me. Hi, Brad. Okay. Hi, everybody over at X. I see you. Where is it? All right, so this is going to be kind of lengthy, but Donald Trump does say, Iran and Israel don't know what the fuck they're doing. I love it. All right, but here's the whole kit caboodle. Here we go. Brad, shut up. I want to listen. Okay, that's you.
I got to get Israel to calm down now.
The freaking jet engines. Hold on a second. We know people in the White House watch the show. 1 second. I'll play it from the beginning. I promise. Give me one moment here. Hello? Mic on? Test? Please. You know who you are. You watch the show and we're friends. I'm begging you, please stop doing interviews with jet engines or helicopters right next to our ears. Please, for the love of God, do it somewhere else. We're all tired of hearing the blast of the engine in our ears when we're doing this. Everybody, I think, agrees. Democrat, I think every American agrees with this. Please, enough of this stuff. Figure it out. You're welcome, Patriots. I got you.
Did you talk to Prime Minister Netanyahu last night?
I speak to everybody.
You urge
both sides not to violate the ceasefire, but reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it. I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
Have you spoken to him this morning? How confident are you that Hamas is completely demolished?
I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And, you know, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean.
Do you believe that Iran can rebuild its nuclear program?
Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there? Absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers.
Hold on. Trump, you're giving us too much, brother. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's 6 a.m. Trump, calm the fuck down. Excuse me. Okay, I'm losing mine. Hey, if Trump gets to cuss, I do too. If Daddy's home and he's cussing, I get to cuss too. I love how he's ripping into the fake news. You guys didn't give the credit where credit's due. Our B-2 bombers put it in them hard, and we love them. Like, I love how he's speaking up for the troops. And you get these psycho Democrats out there. Oh, well, Trump hates the troops. The troops don't like him. Really? Because we beat our recruitment numbers 3 months in advance. Give me a break. They love Trump. They're lining up to serve for this guy in the country. Get out of here with that. MSNDNC.
You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it.
What a disgrace to the Roberts name. For those that don't know, my last name is Roberts. No affiliation to Brian, okay? I don't know who the guy is, but he's giving my last name a bad name, and I don't like that one bit. This is old school 2015, 2016 Trump. You're fake news, you're a disgrace, you're despicable, I'll spit on your face.
He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Iran violated the peace agreement, the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Oh my God, did you catch that? Did you catch that? I apologize for pausing it. We're almost done. There's 49 seconds left, but this is gold. I have not seen this, and I'm eating this up, man. This is making my morning. I don't even care what happens after this segment. I really don't. This is too good. This is the Trump that we haven't seen in a while. I mean, the guy's toned it down. If you notice, he goes into ripping this reporter a new asshole. Fuck the guy's terrible. I'll spit in him. I'll punch him in the nutsack. I'll use it as a boxing match. I don't care what it is. He sucks, right? And then he goes, yeah, Israel and Iran, yeah, we're figuring it out. It will happen. We'll kind of see what goes on. Like the level he went from to like here in the matter of seconds is remarkable. Watch again. Hold on. I'll fucking tear him apart, that piece of shit.
Great.
What?
Iran violated the peace agreement and the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't they're doing. Do you understand that?
He is correct, and he walks away, and he's right. Hold on. Let me do it for you with no audio because they bleeped it out. We're in 2025. We don't need to bleep this stuff out anymore. We all know what it is. Basically, you have two countries that have been fighting for so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that? Boom. And he's out. God, he looks good. He looks good without a tie on, man. Some of you are saying he looks tired. I mean, I don't know. His eyes have gotten smaller, but other than that, the guy looks good. He looks healthier this time, and he just looks good. I'm telling you, he's doing something with RFK, man. RFK's changing that guy's physique, but I was thinking about this the other day too. This was like last week, and I was like, I've done anybody knows like accounting or like when you're working crazy hour jobs, you're tired, man. You are tired. It kicks your ass. And you're like, well, Brad, I don't even work crazy hours and it kick my ass. Yeah, well, work crazy hours and it will when you're living at the firm. And I was thinking, could I keep up with Trump? Like if I worked in the White House for Trump, like I was close to him, would I be able to keep up with the guy? I was like, I came to the conclusion, I don't think I could. Like, I am always tired. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm not getting enough insulin. Like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. But like, I sleep like crap always. It doesn't matter what it is. I rotate all night from like one shoulder to the other shoulder. My body's tore from hockey. Anywho. So there's the updates. We'll see if this stays in effect, but you got to give it to Trump, man. If this does, how many conflicts does this guy have to resolve? So he figured out the Israel-Iran conflict. Let's hope that's fresh. But he also, remember, he got India, Pakistan. Potentially, we got 3.5 years to figure out Russia, Ukraine. I mean, Barack Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize, you guys. Al Gore, the guy that's just a complete liar about climate change, got a Nobel Peace Prize. If this ceasefire stays in effect, you got India, Pakistan. Right there alone, if he stabilizes the region of the Middle East, why would you not give him the Nobel Peace Prize? Well, I know why they wouldn't, right? Meaning the progressive left. I get that, but the guy deserves it. And by the way, congratulations, Mr. Trump, Mr. President, for not getting us into another regional war. Thank you for having the wisdom and the intelligence from the heavens to get this done right. So thank you, Mr. President. In Trump, we trust. Now, at the end of the day, obviously, we trust in God, but you get what I'm saying. That's why I elected this guy, man. He's a badass, and I love him. I love him. I love the guy. I can't get over it. It's funny because people come on TikTok, and they'll go, oh, well, you're just a fanboy. Yeah, you're fucking right, I am. Like, okay. Oh, you got me. Oh, idiots. Of course I'm a fan. You fucking have not seen the show? What the hell? I brag about voting for this guy 3 times. I would sneak in a 4th vote if I could. I'm kidding. Simmer down. Simmer down! If you're like, what the hell am I watching? This is called the Bald Brad Show. We do it different here in the morning, folks. We bring you the energy. We bring you the entertainment. We bring you the news. And we bring you the shenanigans. And that's why people come here, because there's no freaking morning show on the internet like this. There's nobody psycho enough to do this like me. Because again, you guys have me in your ears at work. You're in your cubicles typing away, doing your work. You know what I mean? You're like sexy ass skirts, right? And your nice slim slacks that the guys wear with the form-fitting shirts that look all good. And you're just going, this guy's nuts. But I dig it. The guy's nuts. Like, Jesus, Brad, what the hell's wrong with you? Stop yelling in my ear. You got it, babes. You got it. And that goes for the guys, too. I call it guys and gals, babes. Y'all babes. You got it. I'll shut up. I'm sorry. Simmer down. All righty. So Israel accuses Iran of violating ceasefire with missile. Drone launches, threatens more strikes. Okay, so this was last updated, what? 4 minutes ago. Hopefully this stays in. Now, you just watched Trump on the lawn of the White House, and we're hoping it stays in. So 5 minutes ago, okay, here we go. Here's another update. 5 minutes ago, Trump greenlights China to continue buying Iranian oil. So I would imagine that was part of the deal. That was part of the negotiation. President Donald Trump said Tuesday that China can now continue purchasing oil from Iran. Hopefully they will be purchasing plenty from the United States also, but it's my great honor to make this happen, Trump added on Truth Social, announcing ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Heading to NATO, where at worst it will be a much calmer period than what I just went through with Israel and Iran. I look forward to seeing all of my very good European friends and others. Hopefully much will be accomplished, Trump said in another post. Man, you know, these first 5 months have just been really chaotic. But things are chaotic when you're having to come from an environment where you just let people do whatever the hell they want. And I will give you an example because I've lived it. It's a silly analogy, but it does connect. There was a time when I worked up in LA as a teacher, and I got hired about 2.5 months into the school year. And the students had not had a teacher for 2.5 months. They just had a substitute. And it was a different sub every single day, meaning no ground rules. You could do whatever you want. And so when I came in, there was chaos. I mean, people were throwing textbooks, throwing chairs. It was the craziest thing. It's like out of movies. And I'm not exaggerating this one bit. And it was my job to clean up the mess. It was my job to get everybody in line and everybody together. Do you think that was easy or difficult? Extremely difficult, but I got it there. And you had to do consequences. You had to do things that were harsh and not fun, but you had to get it done because you needed to create order out of chaos. That is what Donald Trump is doing. He got brought into a bunch of crap where there was no consequences. There was nothing being done other than enabling all this stuff. And what I mean by that is, here's Joey giving you $10 billion. Here's another person giving you $1 billion. That's all it was people going, hey, you know what? We'll pay you to be quiet. It's like giving your kid an iPad to shut the fuck up. That's all it is. Or, hey, here's some candy to shut up for a little bit. Or here's the TV. Here's some cartoons. It's no different. It's just enabling bad behavior is all it is. And so Trump's going, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to spank the shit out of you. And by doing that, that means dropping bombs, baby. And so, of course, it's going to be chaos because from chaos comes order. And he's trying to bring order. And if we can get this order done, and we know what the next 3 years are going to look like under Donald Trump going, okay, well, we can't screw around because this guy's going to come bomb us and he's going to push our shit in, then you're going to act a little bit different. So I'm not a fan of Trump bombing the Iranians, but what I can say, and I mentioned this yesterday, at least it shows a sign of strength that when Trump says he's going to do something, he actually does it. And I think that's a big thing that people make a mistake in is if somebody says, hey, I'm going to do something and they don't follow through, well, it's just a bluff. Then we're not going to take your word seriously. And if everybody remembers when Trump was initially put into office, that's what I said. I was a little bit worried that, well, you're just saying a bunch of stuff. You're doing the same thing Joey did. You're not actually doing anything. I need you to do something. If you're going to say, hey, you better not fuck around, well, then you got to make sure that they find out if they do. And he wasn't doing that. This is why I'm like a little bit hypocritical in it because it sets the tone going forward. And that's what you need. You need to set that tone for other countries to see that, oh, whoa, okay, wait, he's a little bit serious here. I like that. Because again, we still have 3 years and I want 3 years of peace. I want 3 years of nothing but growth. I want 3 years of nothing but working with our Middle Eastern countries to bring them back into the game a little bit. But it sound like the freaking guy from Looney Tunes. That's all, folks. I just want nothing but prosperity for everybody, but America first. All right. Well, JD Vance says, end of Israel-Iran war, an important reset moment. I love that phrase. And we have a clip here on Brett Byer's show. He is correct here, and he sounds so presidential doing it. Here he is.
When I left the White House, I thought that we might be able to get it across the finish line before this broadcast, and it looks like the president has been able to do that. I mean, look, he's been working the phones constantly. Frankly, before the 12-day war started, but certainly over the past 12 days, the president's been extremely clear about America's national objective here. It is to create a world where Iran cannot build a nuclear weapon. We, of course, destroyed the nuclear program that they had, and the president told the entire team, we're going to work to make sure that they don't try to rebuild that nuclear capability in the future. And it's, look, this is a great thing. For Israel, think about this. They've accomplished an important military objective. They've helped us destroy the Iranian nuclear program. They've also destroyed the conventional missile capability of Iran that threatened the country of Israel. For the Iranians, I think this is a new opportunity to actually pursue the path of peace. As I said yesterday, what the Iranians have showed through their support of terror networks, through their now failed effort to build a nuclear weapon, is that they're just not very good at war. And I think the president really hit the reset button and said, look, let's actually produce long-term peace for the region. That's always been his goal. I actually think when we look back, we will say the 12-day war was an important reset moment for the entire region.
I mean, it was clean. It was concise. It was everything you want to hear. And I love that phrase. It's a reset moment. And I think that's very similar to what we want to see here in the United States is a reset moment. But when you have these judges that are going rogue, that are stopping basic immigration enforcement, it makes things difficult. But again, out of chaos comes order. But to get that order in place, you have to do some ass whooping. And because we've pussified our country so much, remember how we were all hit as kids? Y'all remember that? You just got smacked the crap out of you by your parents. I know I did. Both mom and dad. And when dad smacked you on the tushy, man, that left a print. I remember. Because I was a little shit. I wasn't a bad kid, but, you know, I was a typical boy. You know, listen, you get the little smack of duty. But I appreciate it now later in life because you needed it. You don't appreciate it in the moment, but, you know, pain gets results. And by the way, you could take that down to the individual. You working out is painful. And it's painful not just physically, but maybe sometimes emotionally. You going through obstacles that God puts in front of you to overcome so you can become stronger is painful. Again, to have order in your life, most often you have to go through pain. Not always, but most often. We need to go through pain as a country. And however that looks like, that's different for everybody. But we have to go through it. Or else there's going to be major pain to go through in the future. That's both financially, that's culturally, that's everything. So Trump's strike on Iran, a vital turning point in American foreign policy. We're going to break down this article really quickly, and then we'll move into other news because I got Stephen Miller for immigration. We got a lot of stuff for you today, folks. A lot of stuff, a lot of video as well. But if you could hit that thumbs up button, greatly appreciate you. We are not live on TikTok today because if you didn't know, we were suspended yesterday for misinformation. I reached out to TikTok. I asked them specifically what I said that was deemed as misinformation. We're going to see, and I will report to you guys what exactly they say because I'm curious myself. When you're reading directly from the news, how is it going to be misinformation? It's not like I was given CNN stuff or MSNBC, but we'll see. I'll keep you tuned in. So President Trump's strike on Iran is a turning point for American foreign policy. For years and years and years, we have been boxed into the idea that every war is the Iraq war. This is true. This is why a lot of conservatives, Republicans, just a lot of people in general were hesitant on this strike. But it's weird how they weren't hesitant when Barack Obama did it or when Joe Biden does it. It's funny how it's just when Trump does it. Oh my God, we're so worried. The guy's a fearmonger. He's a warmonger. He's going to put us into another war. You know, they're saying it back in his first term too. They always say the same stuff on repeat. They're like a broken record. Critics of President Trump of peace through strength, going all the way back to World War II, particularly on the left, but now on the horseshoe theory right as well, have suggested that people who do advocate for American military action liken everything to the lead up of World War II, to Chamberlain and Munich. They say not everything is World War II, not every war is the Iraq war. You might notice that the vast bevy of people who are complaining about President Trump's strike on the Iranian nuclear facilities keep comparing this to the Iraq war. That's crazy. These people who keep saying that a one-off strike on a nuclear facility, which is significantly more like killing Osama bin Laden or killing Soleimani or killing al-Awlaki, is somehow more akin to the Iraq war, a full-scale hundreds of thousands of troops ground invasion on the country in the Middle East, followed by a 20-year effort to rebuild the country and remold the government. Correct. It's a wild difference in escalation. It's a wild difference. But I would like to point out, you guys, everybody knows this. That's why I always get frustrated when people act stupid. They're not stupid, but they act stupid. Stop pretending as if there isn't conflicts kind of similar to this happening all the time. You just never hear about it. You don't think that there's SEALs going in and tearing shit up in different areas around the world? You don't think there's little conflicts of actual hits around the world all the time? You just don't hear about them. This is the one that just made it in the news because it's Israel. This stuff happens all the time where people go bomb each other. You just don't, again, you don't hear the reporting on it. Like, there's atrocities that happen all the time around the globe right now that you're not hearing about. How about the slavery? How about the women in the Middle East being gang raped and having their kids thrown in the fires alive and then forcing the mother to eat it? Are you hearing about that news? Oh, I guess it's not happening because you didn't hear about it. I guess it's not happening. It's happening all the time. And you got to go in and bring order from chaos. And the way to do that is sometimes dropping bombs. Sometimes it's diplomacy. Sometimes it's sending in the SEALs to, slap you around a bit. You have to be empty-headed. Am I hearing something? Hold on a second. Let's make sure we're not getting feedback here. Alrighty, we're good. Okay. Thank you. But there is an Iraq war syndrome that has set the American body politic that suggests that every military action is like the Iraq war. It's very much like the Vietnam War syndrome that set in after the end of the Vietnam War, where every military action was supposed to be exactly what America did in Vietnam. It took Ronald Reagan breaking the Soviet Union in order for that to begin to end. And it truly ended with George H.W. Bush helped win the Gulf War. And this war, again, Iraq, I was saying Iraq was the third largest military. It depends what you look at. I tried digging more research to see what would it be, the third or fourth. It's the fourth largest military in the world. That's if you take the United States into account. I was not. I was kind of moving us to the side, so they would have been the third largest. But doesn't matter. We beat them in 100 hours. Our military is just insane. The lesson of Vietnam and Iraq is not military power or the threat of the use of the United States is bad, or even worse. The United States itself is bad, which is an argument that is being made all the time by the horseshoe theory left and the horseshoe theory right. You guys, there's a lot of quote unquote MAGA supporter influencers that I think that if you watch now, you'd be surprised that, oh, wait a minute, maybe they're not exactly full MAGA. Like, there's some people that almost seem like they made a pretty big switch on online. And you're kind of like, well, that's weird, because it seemed like, 5-6 years ago, you're kind of for these bombings like Soleimani. But now you're not for, I don't know. It's very weird. Like, you're trying to track their thinking. Hopefully, my thinking's been linear these last 4 years. Hopefully you're like, well, Brad, you used to be for this and now you're for this. Like, you're kind of a read in the wind, man. It's a major shift. Hopefully you don't feel like I've had any major shifts at all. I back Trump. I don't have to agree with everything he does. I'm going, okay, I hope he doesn't do it. But if he does, I guess we're all going in. You got to follow the leader that you voted for, whether you like it or not. Now, that goes to a certain extent, right? I mean, it's not like Trump could just go delete like hundreds of thousands of people with a nuclear warhead and I'm going to be cool with it. There are limits, and everybody has their own. The real lesson here is that victory is a possibility. Victory can be achieved if the commitment is clear and the goal is defined. Not just that, but that you're willing to accept the goal when it's been achieved, and that you can't have greed and want more. So that's basically the lesson learned. You can head over there. There's a lot more here. I don't want to bore you with this, because it's basically reiterating everything I've said. I've already actually gone through this opinion piece. So I've gone through this one. So appreciate all you in the chat. We're not going anywhere, but I appreciate you. I'm trying to read to see what's going on. Good morning, Brad. Appreciate the news and entertainment this morning. Hey, thanks, T-Dog. Appreciate you, brother. Miss Mom says, I'm so sick of war and it will never end until we get Lindsey Graham Warhawks out of power. I just think there's always going to be war until God himself comes back down on this earth and reigns again. Because there's always going to be evil. In the same way, it's like saying, I wish there was never any crime. There's always going to be crime because there's always going to be people that are idiots and there's going to be people that are evil. Even in authoritarian, totalitarian countries, doesn't matter which one you're looking at, communist countries, there's always people that still commit crime in those countries, even though it's basically like the death penalty for you chewing like a stick of gum. Doesn't matter. People always try to skate the law. Oh boy, here we go. For those on audio, we have Joy Behar on the screen, and you just perked up in your seat, didn't you? Like, oh, here we go. Yep. Good old Joy. Oh boy. Speaking of idiots. You've been doing this long enough. You get these certain feelings and emotions when you pull up an article on certain people, and you just know it's going to be good. Automatically, like, oh yeah. Yep. There's going to be a gem in here. There's going to be a needle in the haystack that we're about to find. We're about to be rich, folks. Let me clear my eyes. Let me get a swig of water here really quick. Wet my whistle for this one. Alrighty, here we go. The View host, Joy Behar, complained about President Donald Trump's decision to strike Iranian nuclear sites, first objecting to the fact that he did not exhaust the 2-week window he'd set for such an attack. And then to the fact that he had not warned Iran ahead of time that he planned to carry out the attacks. No way in hell that I just hit the first paragraph and we found it. Oh my God. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Fuck, my eyes are so watery. Hold on a sec. I can't even read the screen. Fuck, I'm gonna read it again. I'm sorry. Indulge me here. This piece is for me. This whole segment is purely for Brad right now. If you want to take a potty break, if you want to get some more water in yourself, if you need the electrolytes, this is for me. Indulge me for a second. I needed one of these articles. I needed this so bad, especially after yesterday. I could have used this yesterday. Thank you, God. What a blessing. Joy, you are a blessing. You bring joy into my life because of your idiocracy. Oh boy, here we go. I'm going to start over because it was that good. Please indulge me, you guys. Thank you. God bless you. Here we go. The View host, Joy Behar, complained about President Donald Trump's decision to strike Iranian nuclear sites, first objecting to the fact that he did not exhaust the 2-week window he'd set for such an attack. I'm fucking trying. Please understand I'm sweating because I'm trying not to laugh and my eyes are tearing up. This next part. This next part is so crazy. Please, 1 second. And then to the fact that he did not warn Iran ahead of time that he planned to carry out the attacks. Fucking idiot. She's so stupid. It's just amazing to me. I'm fucking crying. Oh my God, dude. Ugh. Millions of dollars. I mean, we live in the greatest country, do we not? Millions of dollars. And yes, you get millions of dollars for saying just nonsense. Is there a clip, please? Oh my God, thank you. Yes, we're watching all of it. You're fucking right, we are.
I'm happy to have you here, believe me. So on Thursday, the White House said that Trump was going to make a decision on Iran within the next 2 weeks. That's what he said. Remember that? Okay. He was going to give diplomatic negotiations more time to play out. And then, less than 48 hours later, this attack was underway. So what changed? And what was he actually trying to accomplish here?
I mean, look, the 2 weeks measure was clearly a bit of a head fake. I mean, not entirely. I wouldn't say the decision was finally made. All indications are he didn't actually make the decision to so-called pull the trigger until Saturday, you know, and then the attack commenced. But obviously, all the wheels were already in motion. In fact, the wheels were in motion a full week beforehand. Shortly after the Israelis made their attack the previous Friday, the president saw it as a sweeping success. I mean, he was very excited about it. I spoke to him that morning, and he said, this is excellent. He was no longer saying the Americans weren't involved. He was taking credit for American weaponry being part of it. He was clearly ready to go, but there was a last-minute push for some kind of a diplomatic resolution. He really wanted that moment. I mean, I think he thought he could have a Kim Jong-un moment with the supreme leader of Iran and have a big deal right before the bombs were going to drop. The Iranians were not engaging at all, and he made the decision.
Okay, so we got that clip, right? But there's the one right below it. Where are you, Joy, you freaking knucklehead? Here we go. Here we go.
The sequence for the surprise, the surprise version.
I mean, absolutely, the diversion, and you saw the way that all indications were the B-2s were flying towards Guam. Everybody thought, okay, so we're getting in position to be ready. They wanted to have some element of surprise. Let's face it, there wasn't really much element of surprise. I mean, this had been in the works for a long time, but to have the final moment to be a surprise.
Well, hold on a second. We got more. We got more. Well, I mean, it wasn't an element of surprise, really, because they had no idea that it was happening. Not a clue. Not an actual clue. I had to find the clip. Oh, we're not going to get the clip of Joy saying her stupid quotes. Oh, come on. Give it to me, baby. All right, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. God, that was awesome. Joy, you idiot. God. Well, why didn't he just warn them ahead of time? As I've mentioned, I appreciate everybody over at Kick. Thank you for the followers over at Kick. Hit that follow button. We do this each and every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Weekdays. I can't breathe because I was laughing so hard and I might have hurt myself trying to contain the laughter. God. There you go. Michelle said something nice. Advance notice like Hamas gave Israel before October 7th. F Joy. Oh, God, Joy, you are such an idiot. All righty. U.S. intel confirms Iran failed to move nuclear materials before Trump strikes. This is something that was big. Everybody kept talking about it. Oh, well, the uranium, it's not in there anymore, and they moved it. And so it's kind of a waste, and it was a nothing burger. So Senator Mullen revealed on Monday that U.S. intelligence contradicts claims that Iran moved nuclear materials before President Trump's weekend airstrikes, which the senator believes severely damaged, if not completely destroyed, Iran's nuclear weapon capabilities. Satellite imagery taken prior to the attack circulating across social media over the weekend revealed trucks surrounding Fordo, allegedly poised to haul away all the nuclear material. Israel and Iran are claiming that they moved some material. Our intelligence reports that they didn't. In fact, we actually believe they stored more of it in Fordo because they believe Fordo was impenetrable. So the trucks are there. People are thinking they're hauling it out. Oh, God, we got to move now. But in actuality, it seems like they were moving more in to the site. Boom. The Fordo facility, located 300 feet underneath the mountain, was one of Iranian's nuclear sites targeted by the airstrikes. Senior research fellow of the Institute of Science and International Security echoed Mullen's sentiment, telling the Washington Post that the satellite images taken prior to the attack appear to feature dump trucks intent on reinforcing Fordo, not evacuating it. Yeah, you're going to reinforce that, sure, against our bunker busters. There was allegedly video, and I haven't sourced it out to see if it's actually legit. But let me see if I can pull up the video for you. Some people said this was the video, and I at least want to show you the holes. This is satellite imagery. So if you're seeing these holes from a satellite, bro, these are some big holes. I mean, it's like the hole in the booty. It's a big old hole. Eric Birds with the $5 over at Rumble. Eric, appreciate you. For those who were asking where to send any donations for the house fire, you can send donations to, okay. So Eric has his, for those that don't know, Eric's house, he had a house fire. And if you would like to donate to Eric, he's a longtime supporter of the show. You can head over to Rumble. Let me put the Rumble in YouTube. And you could donate and send some money via his way. He has the information on the screen over there. I don't want to project it on the screen. You have to go over to Rumble for that right now. And you guys can grab that and help Eric out. Again, he's a longtime patron of the show. Had a terrible accident at his home. So if you want to help him out, That's there for you. I know Karen was looking for it. Karen, I do get your email. You guys, I read all your emails. Even if I don't respond, I get the emails. Let's help Eric out. $5, $10, it goes a long way. I would do a fundraiser on here. I just don't know how much YouTube takes. So we'll take a peek at that maybe in the future. Help you out, Eric. All righty. So there's that. Let me see if we can get to there's a video. Let me see if it's even in here. That's not it. There was a video of some like Middle Eastern guys looking at the site. And I want to see, I'm looking for a very specific video, but let me see if we can get it. Site video, maybe. I'm not seeing it. Okay. Well, that means it's probably not legit then. It's probably not legit. So you have that taking place. Now, this kind of follows in line to the idea that Trump goes, okay, China, you can buy oil from Iran. So Rubio challenges China. Secretary Rubio, citing the reality that China would be severely damaged by Iran's threat to close the Strait of Hormuz, challenged the Chinese government on Sunday to tell Iranian regime not to do so. I think this was added pressure on the Iranian regime that they were basically fucked. And sorry to cuss, but that's the best word to use right now. Like screwed doesn't do justice. They were effed big time because the Chinese and the Russians wouldn't even really back them up. There was a report early on, even from the Russians, from Medvedev, the former president of Russia, saying, okay, well, if you guys want to blow up their nuclear sites, we as well as a bunch of other countries, we have the capacity to give them nuclear warheads ourselves, which I believe is illegal, by the way. And there's a lot of countries lining up to do so. Well, he changed his tune about 24, 48 hours ago and kind of walked that back a little bit. So I don't know if that was, he did say it, but if the actions of other countries doing so and willing to do so was legit, that I'm not so sure, but he walked it back. So when you have Russia and China going, okay, hey, hold on a second here. Trump actually did something. He's serious. Things could get out of control and it's going to affect us big time because a lot of oil comes out of there, 25 to 50%. It could affect the Chinese government pretty bad. So it turns out that they didn't have the backing, which when you don't have the backing of the people that are supposed to give you munitions and you're about to screw them over, you don't really have a lot of play here. You don't really have a lot of cards. And I would say they didn't have any cards to begin with, the Iranians. China in particular buys more oil from Iran than any other nation, with its imports from Iran surpassing 1.8 million barrels per day, according to data by Ship Tracking. Iran's state-run Press TV reported that the Iranian parliament had endorsed closing the Strait of Hormuz, but the final decision would be made by the Supreme National Security Council. Do you expect Iran to move to close the strait to try to disrupt oil transportation across the world? Asked Rubio. Is there a clip of this? Oh, it's a long one. We're not going to do it. It's a long clip. Just read it. I encourage the Chinese government in Beijing to call them Iran about that because they heavily depend on the strait for their oil. If they do that, it will be another terrible mistake. It's economic suicide for them if they do it, and we retain options to deal with that. I want to point out that it just shows you how stupid the Iranian parliament truly is, how dumb their government really is. Not only would they shoot themselves in the foot, but they're like, okay, we're going to take out our allies too along with it. What a bunch of idiots over there. What a bunch of idiots. God. I mean, it's no different than the Democrats voting for Joe Biden. Like, what a bunch of idiots. So quickly, where is it? This is not what I wanted. All right, well, for some reason, the article's not here anymore. China did end up reversing course on the Iranians and called them up saying, yo, you can't do that. That's not going to happen. So that was the gist of the article that's clearly missing here in my tabs. I don't know what happened, but that's the information for you. Basically, they said, hey, You don't want to do that because we kind of like you a little bit and you're about to screw us over. We get a lot of oil from you. No good. Now, remember how the hysterics of the left go, oh, well, you're going to destabilize the region. You're going to pull us into war, World War III. Are you going to call the mothers of the dying sons on the battlefield and tell them that you voted for Trump and that you're sorry? Are you going to make the personal phone calls? Oil prices are about to go through the roof. Well, oil prices actually fell. Yeah, oil is actually cheaper. So not only does Trump bring peace in the Middle East and create ceasefires, but during conflicts in the Middle East, oil prices fall. What? The guy's a genius. How does he do it? Oil prices fell Monday after Iran's casualty-free attack on United States military base in Qatar. By the way, I'm getting a lot of flack for this. Why are you saying Qatar? That's how you pronounce it, by the way. It is Qatar. People's minds are blown on TikTok like, oh, what an idiot. He called it Qatar. Yes, that's what, it's not Qatar. You could say it that way. It's like when I say Iran, you could say it that way, but it's Iran. You could say Qatar, but it's called Qatar. And by the way, I didn't know that for the longest time. You want to know how I found out it was called Qatar? And you guys saw me mention this on air a couple years ago with John Kirby. I believe John Kirby, National Security Advisor? Or is that, it was John Kirby that said it. It doesn't matter his title, but in the Biden administration, called it Qatar. And I was like, is that right? Is it actually called Qatar? Because I've been calling it Qatar my entire life. It is actually Qatar. That's how you say it. Yeah. He says Qatar. Yeah. Qatar. Qatar. It's Qatar. With investors hoping that attack signals the limits of Tehran's retaliatory ability. Prices spiked 6% after Iran threatened to close the strait in response to President Donald Trump's announcement, had bombed an Iranian nuclear facility. Some 20% of the world's daily oil supply passes through that area. Well, that's kind of a problem we should figure out later on, right? Is that maybe we should figure out some other strategic maneuver here so that if somebody tries to do that, they don't screw over 20% of the globe. It's a lot of power to give one country that supports terrorism. I don't mind giving power like that to a country if they're stable. You don't give a guy that's clearly having psychological issues that doesn't mind deleting people. You don't give him a firearm and say, hey, don't worry, go into a crowd. Probably not a good idea, right? On Monday, Iran fired missiles at the airbase, all of which were intercepted. There were no casualties, thank God. In response, the price of barrel had dropped. It doesn't even make sense. You would expect it to increase. Iran's firing missiles at U.S. bases the other day. You would expect oil prices to go through the roof because people are kind of unsure. They dropped. They went down. Go and fill up our cars. Crazy. Crazy. Now, moving into other news here. Hopefully we're done with the Israel-Iran stuff. I'll kind of give you guys some breaking news if anything comes about. We'll make sure we keep you updated during the show that's live right now. Hit that thumbs up button if you're having a good time. Follow us on X, Twitter, TikTok. We're not live on TikTok because we were suspended for saying truth, which is typical. Bunch of commies over there. Same thing with YouTube. Bunch of commies. All right. Trump admin secures victory in SCOTUS, ruling enabling more deportations. This is a big win. I can't emphasize how big of a win this is for us. We're going to read the whole thing. Yeah, you're damn right, because this is that important. Big time. Appreciate you, Karen. God bless you. The Supreme Court paused an order from a lower court judge preventing the Trump administration from deporting illegal aliens to so-called third countries that are willing to accept aliens from other nations. The Supreme Court ruling is a victory for the Trump administration, which previously had to allow illegal aliens the opportunity to contest their deportation to nations other than their country of origin. El Salvador is about to get a lot of people. A lot of people. The ruling gives the administration the ability to deport those whose nations of origin are unwilling to accept them, potentially paving the way for thousands of deportations. So let me get this straight. Their own country won't even accept them back, but we're supposed to keep them here and allow them to thrive in our country. Are you serious right now? That's how bad some of these people are, that their own country says, nope, we're good. You keep them. And Democrats are cool with this? That doesn't perk your antennas up a little bit, Democrats? And you going, well, that's weird. That's a little odd that their own country won't even take them back. Why? You would think that there has to be it would be like you leaving your home and they're going over to somebody else's house, your kids, and then the parents don't even allow the kids to come back home. You have to ask, why? Why would the parents not even want the kids back in the home? It's a little odd. Wouldn't you start asking questions? Did they do something? Did they harm you? Are they threatening you? Did they maybe delete somebody and you don't like them there because they might do it again in your home? Is that why? But God, if you ask questions, you're a white supremacist. If you ask any questions, you're a racist, bigot, homophobe, blah, 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 all these things. God forbid you ask questions. Maybe the Democrats should start asking a little bit more questions of who these illegals are rather than just going protesting a bunch of people. The decision comes after the Trump administration deported 8 violent criminal illegal aliens, including Cuban and people from Vietnam, to Sudan after the African nation agreed to accept them. The illegal aliens, home nations, were not willing to accept the criminals, whose crimes include, oh, this is fun. Oh, this is good. Well, no wonder they didn't want to accept them. Their crimes include homicide, kidnapping, and the sexual assault of children. Do you notice this is always in like almost every single one? Has anybody else picked that up, or is it just me? That is in almost every single one of these psychos' profile doing some weird finagling with children. Almost in every single one. And this is who these people are out protesting on behalf of. So when you see all these psychos in the street in LA or Austin, Texas, or Seattle, Portland, Washington, D.C., these major cities, this is who they are protecting. It boggles the mind. This is a big win. The deportation flight was quickly challenged in court, with one federal judge ruling that the Trump administration must maintain custody of the illegal aliens in case their deportation to African nation was found to be unlawful. Not anymore. The ruling could also allow the Trump administration to deport one illegal alien, a convicted murderer who received a special deportation protection preventing him from being sent back to his country of origin. So when Trump says, oh, they sent us their people from mental asylums, they sent us their people that are murderers, and all he says, oh, how could you say that? That's not true. Well, it is, because they're not even willing to accept them back. So Stephen Miller posted this morning on X and says a district judge just announced he will openly defy the ruling issued today by the Supreme Court and continue to block the expulsion of illegal aliens convicted of child rape and murder. This is the guy. This is insane. I mean, I am trying to do everything in my power to not lose my crap on my show right now. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job. The left-wing radical Biden judge, of course it is, because they love sniffing anything about children that Biden people love, man. I don't know what the hell's wrong with these people. Got jammed through the Senate in December in the lame duck session after Democrats lost the White House and Senate. 6 months into the job, this judge is now openly defying a Supreme Court order. Bonkers. Just bonkers. So I have a clip here from Steven. I don't know where it's at. Here it is. So we love Steven. We're getting a minute and 23 seconds of greatness. Here we go.
Think about how historic this moment is and what President Trump has achieved in this 12-day war. Presidents going back to Bill Clinton have said it is the policy of the U.S. government not to allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. But under every president except except Trump, Iran marched closer and closer to being able to put onto a ballistic missile a nuclear warhead that could take out an entire city. That has been the direction Iran has been going in year after year. President Trump took action flawlessly through the United States military to obliterate Iran's nuclear sites and to stop them through the use of military force from having a nuclear weapon. It was a bold, courageous action, and it happened without a single leak, without a single solitary service member losing their life. Everyone said, who was a critic of this action, that it would lead to World War III, and instead we have a ceasefire, and instead we have the beginnings of a new era of stability and peace and security in the Middle East. President Trump, once again, has demonstrated that he alone has the wisdom, the judgment, the strength, and the courage to see this nation through the most dangerous challenges we face around the world, Sean. Well,
Okay.
let's just take a moment.
That was not the clip I wanted to show you, but we're just getting double the dose of Stephen Miller. So here he is talking about the immigration issue.
Your reaction, this court decision is massive, Steve.
Yes, this is an incredible victory, the Supreme Court win. It allows President Trump, as the law has long said, but the courts have blocked, it allows President Trump to send illegal aliens convicted of rape, murder, homicide, assault, battery, crimes against children to any country around the world that is willing to accept them. So whether that be South Sudan, or whether it be Somalia, or whether it be Ethiopia, any country in the world that is willing to accept these monsters, we can get them out of our country and be free of them forever. The only thing I have to share tonight, Sean, in a little bit of breaking news, is that the district court judge in Boston has said he's going to defy the Supreme Court's ruling. So expect fireworks tomorrow when we hold this judge accountable for refusing to obey the Supreme Court.
Your reaction, this court decision is massive, Steve.
Yeah, he's just one of the best. Stephen is one, if not the best person in that White House. One of those situations where he's so good that you almost don't know where to put him, and you kind of need him everywhere. So I was giving a bunch of people a shout out during that segment over at Kick. Appreciate you guys watching me over there at Kick. We're trying to grow the Kick community and stream live over there. So if you hit that follow button, that helps us. Appreciate everybody over there. Again, I hope to see you guys every single morning, 6 a.m. and get familiar with your names. Dave, who's inside the chat with you, has been a longtime supporter of the show. So thank you to everybody over at Kick. We also, again, are on TikTok, Rumble, YouTube, everywhere. But I appreciate everybody over at the Kick community joining us so we can get kind of up and running over there and hopefully gain some traction. We're trying to reach broader audiences here and, really make a splash. So here is the other news. Judge orders release of Maryland man, but the illegal alien could be deported again. So here we go. The guy, everybody's heard of the Maryland man, the guy that's allegedly trafficking people, the guy that's allegedly a part of MS-13, the good guy. Yeah, the guy that donates his time to communities. A federal judge ordered the release. Here we go. We saw this coming. There's a reason why they wanted him to come back here so they could release him into the interior. And, you'll never see him again. A federal judge ordered the release of the suspected MS-13 lionized by Democrats as the Maryland man. But now the Trump administration has appealed the decision and hinted he could be recaptured and deported if he is freed. Mr. Garcia, the Maryland man, the guy that donates his time to soup kitchens, the guy that will cook you a medium rare steak on the grill and didn't even ask for it. That guy, the illegal alien who was famously deported to his home country of El Salvador earlier this year, was brought back to the United States to stand trial in a human smuggling case in Tennessee after the Supreme Court ordered the Trump administration to facilitate his return to America. The magistrate judge, Barbara Holmes, has ordered his release before his trial. Everybody stop really quickly. Just with common sense, this guy is allegedly a violent gang member, trafficked people for years, beat the crap out of his wife and allegedly his kids as well. And there's more stuff on top of that. Do you think this guy is a good guy to put out in society and just roam free? don't know. I don't think so. Not for me. Not my take on his I don't think this guy is a safe person for the community. Overall, look at this. Oh boy. Okay. With that in mind, that's just the information we know. Here's the quote. Boggles the mind. Overall, the court cannot find from the evidence presented that Mr. Garcia's release clearly and convincingly poses a danger to other persons or to the community. That's an exact quote. I mean, I deleted some words here. Like 99% accurate. Some of you go, Brad, I'm not sure I heard you correctly. The court found that there was no evidence of this guy harming other people or a danger to your communities. I'm looking at the chat right now because I'm glad that you guys are all having your mind boggled right now. But even if he is released, the Department of Homeland Security says he will not go free. Mr. Garcia is a dangerous criminal illegal alien. Well, the court didn't find it that way. And how they did it, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. We have said it for months, and it remains true to this day. He will never go free on American soil. Mr. Garcia could be captured by immigration and customs enforcement and potentially deported once again. And by the way, most likely not even to his home country. Now that we have the Supreme Court order in place, you could send him anywhere that's willing to take him. Now, most likely he's going back to prison in El Salvador. Defendant could face potential deportation from the United States in the near future should Judge Holmes' impending release order remain in effect. The federal government accuses Mr. Garcia, get this. So remember, the judge said, this genius of a judge says this person is safe in your communities wherever he may go. The federal government accused this guy of smuggling hundreds of illegal aliens, including children, by the way, which we don't know what happened to those children. They could have just went off to another family. They could have been sold off into sex slavery or forced labor. We don't know. MS-13 gang members throughout the United States. So this guy was taking violent gang members and bringing them into your communities, but don't worry, he's a good guy. He's fine. The guy's just servicing local communities, just bringing in violent gang members to start their gangs across the United States. You know how people used to do like Christian church plants? Where you will go and you'll move and you start a church in like another state. And there was like that previous church that was maybe in like Southern California, and a bunch of people like, hey, you know, we're going to move to Alabama and we're going to start a church there, a church plant. Well, you got MS-13 in Los Angeles, and they go, you know what? Let's broaden our horizons here. Let's take some more cement. Let's go to Maryland. Let's go to Maryland and start an MS-13 gang there. Take to the streets. The illegal alien was stopped by the Tennessee Highway Patrol in 2022 while transporting a large group of men. They were going to do construction, is what he was saying. Yeah, in the darkened night, just trafficking a bunch of guys. Not a big deal. Yeah, we're going to work. Yeah, we're going to Vegas. Well, Vegas is the other way. Juan needs another belt for his lawnmower. Really? Because lawnmowers don't use belts. Orale. Arriba. Salsa. Chipotle? We're going to go get some Chipotle? Oh, okay. Uh-huh. It's weird because you said Chipotle. So I don't understand why it's Chipotle. What is it, homie? While transporting a large group of men, all of whom said they did not have a driver's license and could not speak English. That's normal. That's normal. Yeah, dirty as shit. Looked like they crawled through a bunch of miles of tunnel. Good guys. Yeah, just construction workers. He's getting paid to haul these people probably to Maryland, I would say, a Tennessee Highway Patrol officer said during the stop. You know why he probably said that? You think he encounters this enough? Where he goes, yep, seen this before. Yep, I know exactly what this is. Like, do I need to describe corn to all of you? They say C-O-R-N because we're not allowed to say the word P-O-R-N on here. You just know it when you see it, right? Because you might have seen it enough times, or you just know when you've seen it that you just know. Or you know when somebody's like a shady person just by usually looking at them. Now, you could be wrong. In the same way this Tennessee highway patrolman could be wrong. But you've seen enough times, whether in your job, that you go, I've seen this so many times and I'm pretty sure I know what I'm looking at. Because that's your profession. You see it every week. You know what you're looking at. Mr. Garcia, who also accused by his wife of being a domestic abuser. Oh, I'm sorry. Did it say? Forgive me. 1 second. I'm just trying to get the hair out of my face really quick. We're a different show here, folks. We're a different show. Okay. We bring you the good stuff. Yeah. Corn Hub. There you go. So it wasn't like a neighbor, huh? It wasn't a neighbor, like a third party person peeping through their windows to try to see, is that Mr. Garcia again beating the crap out of his wife? No, it came from his wife. But don't worry, he's not he's a community man. Yeah, this is the guy that passes the basket around at church every Sunday to get your donations, your tithing. Yep, he's the guy that will count it too. Won't even slip a dollar, not even a penny in his pocket from that tithing basket. He's a good guy. Yep. So there you go. Rogue judges once again. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? They're entering your community, folks, but don't worry. You got a bunch of people that will go out there and make sure that they are protesting on their behalf. They're good people. Now, this is a exclusive. Trump FTC secures a landmark agreement to end political collusion in advertising industry. I am up in the air on this if it actually is a good decision or not. This affects us here, by the way, on the show. This actually affects me as somebody that does a podcast for advertising purposes. So that's why I want to cover it, because I want to make you all aware of this, because we were all getting screwed. And, well, here we go. President Donald Trump's top consumer protection and antitrust official has approved a massive $13.5 billion merger that will reshape the advertising industry, effectively putting the final nail in the coffin of coordinating against outlets based on their political viewpoints. Now, what was happening was, allegedly, we watched the hearing on this. Ben Shapiro was there, where these firms were working together to blacklist conservative outlets, Republican outlets on the right, so that they wouldn't get any advertising. And when you don't get advertising, guess what happens? You don't get any money. And when you don't get any money, guess what happens? You're not able to get your voice out there in a way that would reach millions of people. The Federal Trade Commission announced Monday morning that it has decided not to block a merger between Omnicom and IPG, two rival firms which together make up a third of the world's big six advertising agencies. Now listen carefully here, because this is the part that I have a little bit of a problem with. But rather than rubber stamp the deal, the FTC chairman, Andrew Ferguson, extracted a major concession. So here we go. The firms have agreed to cease all coordination related to viewpoint discrimination, refrain from any coordination in the future, and submit to strict compliance mandates. I don't care. They're still going to do it. That's what that tells me. Oh, well, we'll adhere to these strict compliance mandates, but maybe not show you everything we're doing. Yeah, we'll make sure. It's kind of like affirmative action. Well, we won't call it affirmative action anymore. We'll just accept people based on their ancestry. So we're not going to accept people based on the color of their skin any longer. We're going to do ancestry. That's a real thing, by the way. That is a real thing that they're doing now. They're accepting people not by the color of their skin any longer, which is good. They're doing ancestry. You gotta go over to TikTok to see that video. Ferguson on Monday, in his official statement on the decision, said the firms have offered not only a ceased coordination in any way that would steer advertising dollars away from publishers based on political viewpoints, but to cooperate with the FTC's investigation into past conclusions or collusions and submit to regular compliance reviews. What happens when you get a Democrat back in office? Because if it's the FTC investigating this and kind of overseeing some of this stuff, well, we'll turn a blind eye to it. Remember, the executive branch is supposed to execute the laws in the books and make sure things function properly. The FTC is supposed to investigate this stuff and look into this and make sure people function properly. But what we saw under the past 4 years of Joe Biden was people don't want to adhere to the law, and nothing's going to be done if they don't adhere to the law. I mean, the greatest case would be illegal immigration. The smash and grabs. The beating the crap of police officers. I mean, it's still being done in Los Angeles. Karen Bass literally told LAPD not to do anything. So the LAPD gets to get their ass kicked. Not a big deal. Nothing happening. So that's my problem with this is who is going to oversee this once Trump is out of office? So we get screwed again in about 3.5 years. Gotcha. Okay. The FTC appeared poised to block the merger based on evidence of past anti-competitive coordination against conservative news organizations, which I mentioned to you. Ferguson on Monday pointed the finger at the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, correct? Better known as GARM. This is what the hearing was about that we watched about a year ago, I want to say, was disbanded in controversy after it was caught directing ad dollars away from right of center outlets, including the Daily Wire, which is why Ben Shapiro was at that congressional hearing. A congressional investigation concluded that GARM banded together, listen carefully here, GARM banded together the most powerful firms in the industry to choke off the vital advertising revenue of those disagreed with them, to destroy publishers of content of which they disapproved. You're looking at it right here. Blacklist these guys. There are lists of conservative outlets that advertisers will not reach out to because of GARM or because of these people, these middlemen, these mediators, the people that get you the advertising. You go to these firms, you say, hey, we got all this money. We want to advertise our product. We want to advertise what we're making. Find a good person that fits well with us. Well, all left-leaning. Ask Bud Light how that one worked out. Yeah. Go talk to Bud Light. Yeah. Explain to me how that worked out, that those firms have the best interest for you. Explain to me how Bud Light is doing. Anybody buying Bud Light still? Because if you are, what are you doing? Bud Light's garbage anyways. I don't know. It's piss beer, dude. I don't know who's drinking it. Here we go. We got updates with Israel and Iran really quickly for you folks. This is as of 11 minutes ago. Iran's nuclear chief says it's taking stock of damage, plans to restart facilities. So I guess we'll be back in a few years. Get familiar, I suppose. The Iranian government is declaring that it might rebuild their nuclear facilities, adding that the regime has taken steps to protect its nuclear facilities. We have taken the necessary measures and are taking stock of the damage. Oh, it's a huge hole. Yep, it's all dirt, which they're used to, I suppose. Iran's nuclear chief said on Tuesday, the plan is to prevent interruptions in the process of production and services. Plans for restarting the facilities have been prepared in advance, and our strategy is to ensure that production and services are not disrupted. All right. Well, it's called insanity is what it is. You get your bleep pushed in, and it's just not the same. Yeah, you're screwed for a long time there, bud. Screwed for a long time. So we're trying to get you some updates here for all of you. There is a gaggle going on currently on Air Force One. What that is it's like a White House press briefing. It's just all through audio. We might take a peek at that a little bit later for all of you. Again, appreciate everybody watching. We got a lot of people watching us right now. If you take into account everything, if we had TikTok up and running, we'd have about 400 people plus watching the show right now. So appreciate all of you for joining us. We got people over at X, we got people Rumble, YouTube, Kick. So appreciate all you guys over at Kick. It's cool that we got a little bit of community starting over here. With Dave, you got Cosmo, Pink Cosmo, you got Chevy, you got a few people over there, which is awesome. Appreciate you guys over at Kick. I don't know if there's a way to upvote us on Kick and get us going, but appreciate you guys over there. Something I wanted to try here that is not working, surprisingly. Let me see. Can you guys indulge me for 1 second? I want to try something over at Rumble. Let me try this really quick. I want to try. I suppose I could have done this on my own. All right, so that's kind of ugly look in the chat. I need to figure this out. So I want to get your guys' chat up here, like I have it, but I need to figure that out. So we'll take that off. I need to figure that out. All righty. So Supreme Court approves third country deportations. We got that one for you guys. Israel ceasefire strained by mutual accusations. Let's go here really quick and see if we can get some updates for you guys. Where's live updates? All right, right here. So still an hour ago, nothing really new. Let me go through this really quick and see if there's any headlines that like pop out at me. Using AI for hiring. Okay, we figured that would happen. Oil prices, Trump secures victory. I don't think there's much, folks. We kind of, I think, covered most of it. Let me see this really quickly. I think that's everything. I think we'll cut it there then. We'll be back here later today for Dark MAGA, which takes place at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch Dark MAGA, where we put on the hat. We put on the hat. And things get spicy. Pretty much come in here and say whatever you want. We'd appreciate you guys joining us. So again, that's at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll probably go live for about an hour. Nothing too crazy. That's where we go over long form video. So it's a slightly different show. We don't go over a bunch of different news. We kind of just watch a bunch of video together and kind of go over it and give commentary and act like idiots, which is always fun. So thank you to everybody that's watching. Appreciate you. Hit that like button. Follow us over at Kick. Follow us on Rumble. Follow us everywhere so you know what's going on in the world. And with that being said, have a blessed day. Pray for this country. Pray for those in the Middle East. Pray for Donald Trump. And, God bless all of you. Appreciate you. Take care, Patriots.